Hi and welcome to Shenae Dardano Pilates. I really hope you enjoy your class today. Grab your mat and let's begin. Hi everyone, welcome to your beginner Pilates flow class today. We are going to start lying down on our back. So let's roll on down, just rest the arms by your sides for a moment. Heels shuffle in close towards your glutes hip width apart. And now we take the palm of our hands onto our hip bones, your fingertips to your pubic bone. As you inhale, create a little arch between your lower back and the mat. And then as you exhale, imprint your spine down. Inhale, arching, and exhaling as you imprint. Taking that gentle pelvic rock. Taking this moment to focus in on your breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Now settling into the point between the two spaces, your neutral spine position. Arms rest down by your sides. Ribs sliding down the front of the body, connecting your core as you float your right leg into tabletop. We extend it out long and then fold it back into tabletop. Lengthening it out on the long diagonal and then folding it back into that tabletop position. Still focusing in on your breath, connecting your core. We have a gentle lift of pelvic floor. Lengthen the right leg out and hold. Arms reach to the ceiling. Adding an abdominal curl in as you pull the knee in, lift the chest, arms by our sides, and then lower back down as you extend the leg out. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower and lengthen that right leg. Drawing your navel in towards your spine. As we lift the chest, work on lifting the head, neck and shoulder blades up off your mat. Lift and hold your abdominal curl. Hands come to support your head, your elbows are wide. We stay lifted as we extend the leg out and in now, staying up in your abdominal curl. Let your head be heavy in your hands. Lift up through the chest as you connect your rib cage down towards the hip bones to really get into that deep abdominal burn. Just two more. And then lower your head back down, arms back by our sides. Let's pop that right foot down on the mat. Left leg comes up, extending that leg out long and then folding it back into tabletop. Lengthening and then folding it back in. Again, sliding the ribs down, drawing the navel in. Take this time to really connect to the breath. Holding it out there, arms reach up to the ceiling. Let's add our abdominal curl. We lift the chest and then lower down as you extend the leg out. Exhale, arms come down by your sides, lift and lower. Keeping the length through the back of the neck, a little gap between your chin and chest as you slide the ribs down the front of the body. For 2. Last one. Holding and now place the hands behind your head and we just extend the leg out and in. Keep aiming to lift the shoulder blades up off your mat. 4, 3. Last 2. Last 1. And then lower your head back down. Rest the arms by your sides. And now from here we go for toe taps. I'm going to switch those legs. Hinging from the hip here, so as your foot comes down, it's not a further bend of the knee. You want to feel the movement come from your hip. Activating through your core. The further your feet go away from the body, the harder this movement will be. Aiming not to let your lower back overarch off the mat. 3, 2, last 1. Pop both feet down. Hands come to now support your head. Lift into your abdominal curl. Right elbow is going to come over and across the body towards the left hip. Then come through center. Left comes over and across to the right hip. Through center. Aiming to keep your pelvis still here. So work on really lifting the shoulder over and across to the opposite hip. Sliding those ribs down. Feel as though you're trying to get your bottom rib to come over and across to the opposite hip bone. Let's add in a leg lift to tabletop. So as you come over and across the body, the knee lifts and then you place the foot back to the mat. Exhale over and across. Inhale through center. Doing really well, guys. Keep it strong. Feeling those abdominals really start to warm up. Let's go a little quicker now. We're going to switch. Moving a little quicker, just toe tapping down to the mat. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rest yourself down to the mat. Heels shuffle in closer towards your glutes so you can brush your fingertips by your ankles. Take an inhale to prepare. On your exhale, tuck your pelvis under. We're rolling up into a bridge position. Inhale when you get to the top, and then exhale as you roll and ripple your spine back down to your mat. Finding our neutral spine, and then tucking under, rolling back up, focusing on the articulation of our spine to begin here. Feeling the upper back, the mid back, and then the lower back come down to the mat. One more here. When you get to the top, let's hold, and you're going to hinge your hips halfway down and then lift back up. Halfway down and lift, wrapping and squeezing into your glutes. Your arms can reach up towards the ceiling, or you can keep them by your sides for a bit more stability. Making sure you're sliding the rib cage down the front of your body. Lift and stay. We're going to start to abduct the legs out and in. So knees go out wide and back in. I want you to imagine you have a band wrapped around your knees and you're stretching that band out and in, aiming not to roll on the outer edges of your feet. Now let's add our hinge back in. One hinge, then knees out wide, knees back in. Hinge, lift, stretch the imaginary band, and then hinge down. One of each. 4, 3 more. For 2, Last one, let's open those knees out and go for top range pulses with your hips. Lifting those hips up, wrapping and squeezing your glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower the hips slowly back down to your mat. Let's take a roll over to our left side. Cupping your hand, resting your head down into your hand in the side lying position. You're going to bring your knees forward, your feet in line with those knees in a 90-degree angle. We're externally rotating from our hip as we lift the knee up, close the knee back down. We lift and lower. Wrapping and squeezing into your glute. We aim to keep our pelvis still here and your hips are stacked. So your right hip is directly stacked over the top of your left hip. We're not rolling back as we open the knee up towards the ceiling. Lift and lower. Really wrap and squeeze into that top glute. Aim to shine a little bit of light underneath your waist so you're not just relaxing your ribs down into the mat. Keep lifting up and away from the mat. 3, 2, lift and hold. Your knee is in line with your hip. You're bending that knee closer in towards your chest and lengthening it out long. Folding it in, extending it out long. Bringing the knee in towards your front elbow and then lengthen it out, wrap and squeeze the top right glute. Aim to keep your foot and knee in line with your hip, or if you can go that little bit higher, let's lift it a few inches up. 3, 2. On your last one, hold it out long. We keep the leg extended. Point your toe as you brush the leg forward out in front and then flex as you pull back. You point your toes, go forward, flex your foot, pull it back. Again, keeping your foot up in line with your hip or that few inches higher. Really getting into that top glute. You can do it. 3, 2, last one. Your foot goes out just a few inches in front of you and we're taking little circles about the size of a plate. So you want to aim your foot to the front corner of your mat as you circle it around. 4, 3, 2, and reverse that circle. Now back the other way. Another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, keep it lifted, little pulses up. Now you are almost there. 6, 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Fold it in. Well done, guys. You are now going to lift up onto your forearm. Really lift up and out of your shoulder. Lift the waistband away from the mat. You're going to rise up off your hips, making sure your body is in one straight line, reaching the top arm up, and then you're threading that arm under and through, and then unraveling into that side plank. Exhale, thread through, inhale, unravel. As you thread the needle, lift your hips a few inches higher. Really getting into the side body, we want to feel the left side of the waist really light up here. 5, 4, last 3, 2. Last one, unravel and hold. Going for a hip dip, we lower your hips down towards the mat, then lift back up. Aim to rainbow the body. Inhale down, exhale lift. Actively pressing out of our left shoulder, pressing away from the mat. Lift through your waist. Hold it now at the top. Extend the top leg out long. Reach the top arm overhead and we pulse the leg up to the ceiling. Little pulses lift. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then fold everything back in down towards your mat. Let's bend those knees in, coming into a mermaid stretch. Reaching our left arm up and then take a big side stretch up and over. Other side, right arm reaches up. We side stretch up and over. Keep lengthening your spine. Coming up into a 4-point kneel position now. Shoulders stacked forward over your wrists, knees under your hips. Flexing our right foot, we're lifting that right knee, taking a donkey kick up towards the ceiling. Still working into our same glute we just worked in our side lying series. Draw your navel in towards your spine and aim to keep your hips square to the mat here. Pressing away from the mat, not sinking into your shoulders. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Adding in a pulse now. We pulse at the top and then knees kiss. We pulse and then bring the knee back down. 4, 3, 2. Now just your pulses up. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift, hold. Point the toe. You take the knee out to the side, then bring it down to the mat. Kick it back to the side, then knees kiss. We go back to the side, knees kiss. Taking that circle around, aim to keep your pelvis still, not letting the hips rock. Let's take it back the other direction now. Out to the side, to the back, then knees kiss. We go side to the back, knees kiss. 3, 2. Last one, take it back and now extend the leg out long. Your opposite arm reaches forward. That left arm reaches forward, holding it out there as we now take little pulses up with the limbs. We pulse up, up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then very gently place the hand down. Your leg stays long, but you place the foot down. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Take your gaze with the hand. And then thread that arm under and through, dropping your shoulder down to the mat. Into our rotation stretch. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, thread through as you drop your shoulder down. Placing that hand back to the mat now, into our 4-point kneel as we take a cat stretch. Inhale, arching through, take the gaze forward. Exhale, round as you look to your pelvis. Taking this little moment to really release out through your spine. We are now going into our side series, lying down on our right side. As you lie down, your hips are stacked, your feet come forward in line with the knees. We lift the top leg and lower. Just check in that your pelvis stays still here. So as you open into that external rotation from your hip, you don't roll back and open up to the ceiling. Keep that top left hip directly over your right hip. Toes up to the ceiling as you lift the knee, then close back in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bring the knee back down. 5, 4, 3, 2. On your last one, lift. And now extend the leg out long and then bend that knee back in towards you. Keeping your knee in line with your hip. Toes facing straight forward as you fold the leg in and lengthen it back out long. Wrapping and squeezing into our top left glute. You can do it. 4, 3, 2, hold the leg out long, point your toe, let's brush it forward, and then flex your foot as you pull it back. Point forward, flex back. Wrapping and squeezing through your glute, aim to keep that foot lifted, it hasn't started to drop. Your pelvis is stable. Your hips are not moving around here. 4 more. Last 3, 2. Now on your last one, bring that foot forward just to the corner of your mat and we circle around. Trying to keep that circle higher than our hip. 4, 3, 2. We have to reverse it back the other way now. You can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it up, little pulses up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lift, and then fold it in. Now we lift onto our forearm, making sure your body is in that straight line as you lift the hips. Reach the top arm up. Let's start to thread the needle under and through, and then unravel, reach back up. Exhale as you thread under, lifting those hips, and then inhale as you unravel. So piking your hips up a little higher as you thread the arm under and through, really getting into the sides of your waist. Lifting the ribs in and away from the mat. 3, last 2, on your final one, unravel and hold. We go for our hip dips. We lower and lift. 5, you can do it. 4, really rainbow the body. 3, 4, 2. On your last one, lift, extend the top leg out long, the arm reaches overhead, pulse the top leg up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then fold everything back in. Let's lift for our mermaid stretch, reaching our right arm up and over. And then lift back up tall, other side, left arm up and side stretch over. Coming into our 4-point kneel position now. Shoulders stacked forward over your wrists, knees are underneath your hips. Your left foot flexes, we kick that leg up and lower it back down. Keeping the knee bent, drilling that heel up towards the ceiling, wrapping and squeezing through your glute. Keep drawing the navel in towards your spine and aim to not sink into the opposite hip. So keeping your hips square to the mat. 3, 2. Let's add our pulse now. That pulse up and then the knee taps back down. Pulse and then tap it down. Lifting through the glute. Just 2 more here. And now just continuous pulses up to the ceiling. You've got it for another 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift and stay. Point your toe. Knee goes out to the side, then down to the mat. Back, side, then knees kiss. Back to the side, knees kiss. Taking that circle around, aiming to keep the hips still. Your pelvis is stable. Last one in this direction. Now let's reverse it back the other way. We take it out to the side, take it back, then bring it down to the mat. Keep really tightening through your waistband. Pull the ribs in and away from your t-shirt or your crop. On this last one, knee goes back, we extend the leg out straight. Opposite arm reaches forward, holding and stabilizing as we pulse up to the ceiling with your limbs. Little pulses with the arm and leg. Keep tightening through the belly. 3, 2, holding. Place the hand and foot down, leg stays out there long. We reach that arm up to the ceiling, take your gaze with your thumb, and then thread that arm under and through, dropping the shoulder down. One more, inhale, reach, and exhale, thread. Pressing back up. Folding the knee back in, dropping to our forearms, shuffle your knees back a few inches, bring your pelvis forward into a half plank position. Really tighten through the waist, draw the navel in, tuck your toes under. We're going to lift those knees, gently lower them to the mat. We lift and lower. Coming up into your plank, and then gently tapping the knees down, keeping that weight up in your shoulders, tightening through your core. 3, 2, last one, hold your plank, you can do it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gently lower those knees down, flatten your feet and lower your belly all the way down to the mat. And then pressing up halfway, lifting the chest, and then lower your forehead back down. One more time, lift and rest all the way down to your mat. From here, arms come down by your sides, palms facing down to the mat. Lifting your right leg up off the mat, gently lower it back down. Left leg lifts and lowers. Alternating, aiming to keep our pelvis still here. You're drawing your navel in towards your spine, pulling your abs away from the mat. Let's go for a double leg lift now. Both legs lift and lower. Lift and lower. Just 2 more like that. Gently lower the legs down. We now lift the chest and the arms only. And lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Pressing the back of the arms up towards the ceiling. Keep the length through the back of the neck, so pressing the back of the head up towards the ceiling as well. On your next one, add in the lower body once again. We lift and lower, so we lift the arms, the chest, and those legs, and then rest down. 2 more. On your last one, holding, arms now reach up overhead and then pull back into the side body. Reaching up and then pull back in. Inhale, reaching the arms. Exhale as you squeeze them back in down towards your hips. Keep really tightening through your belly here. Pull the abs in, lengthen through those legs. Aiming to stay lifted, working your spinal extensors. Last 2. Last one, pull the arms in, pulses up to the ceiling with the back of your arms. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rest down. Bend the knees in, windscreen wiper your legs from side to side, releasing out through the lumbar spine. And gently pressing back up to your heels, sitting back into a child's pose. Aim to get your hips all the way down to your heels. Feeling that beautiful release through the back. Take your right hand over on top of your left hand now, stretching all down the side of the back. Taking a breath here. And now switching over to the other side, left hand goes on top of the right. And then unstack your hands, lift your hips, tuck your toes as you send your hips up into a downward facing dog. Pedaling out your heels once your hips are lifted, allowing the hips to gently sway from side to side. Soften your knees and then walk your hands back in towards your feet. Hanging heavy for just a moment as you give your head a little shake and a little nod. And then start to soften one knee, extend the opposite leg, just alternating from side to side. Sink a little deeper, soften your knees, and then stack your spine bone by bone. Unravel all the way up to standing. Give yourself a big shoulder roll. Well done today, guys.